Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket. Win it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left. Touchdown. Touchdown. 8th floor. Come down. Hotel. Lobby. Receptionist. What now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest. No recess in my schedule.
As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening, but all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Minnesota Vikings. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Hey, watch the slam. Watch the slam.
The son of the heavyweight champ, it's Elijah Holyfield. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. You don't see that a ton, do you? Or the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously decline that. And it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Ready. Touchdown. 54. Check.
Now Holyfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Watch the pass. Here we go. Switch.
On the carry, it's Jackson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Ready. Henry. Watch the screen. Cut. 55.
He'll look to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 17-yard line.
Waiting. 51 to Mike. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
The dump off good for 8 there on first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A pickup of 24. And that's where the play began, the 24-yard line. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Here's Foles. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. Cook stripped, the ball's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They run. Cook. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go, let's go. Watch the twist.
Foles. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check safety. Check 99. Silent.
6-0 our score after one.
With the score, Vikings 6, Patriots 0.
Under. Slam. Recon, 132 fighter. Safety crease.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Foles. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. And he's only able to get it to right around the 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
What we got?
They'll run it with Jackson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 56. On the base. 55.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Fielded at the 33. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. And if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The tackle made by Landon Roberts.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he's going to take this down close to the 1st as he's brought down at the Patriots' 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Out there now the lefty Tavecchio for the Falcon field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down. What a big break. Leads to a 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On 2nd down now, it's Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Now a hit and falls, loses the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will make our score 9-0. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick six, and then the two-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
That's it, baby. We go first.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because...
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Patriots will bring on the field goal unit. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. And this one is right through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he loses the football a second time.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Vikings take over first and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now back to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's second down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this second and 9. Now Cook. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it second and 9.
Brings up second and 9 at the 23-yard line.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. The dump-off gets him only 1, and now you're looking at a third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to fourth down.
Giorgio Tavecchio on for the field goal.
Tavecchio puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down. They run on first down with Jackson. Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
A gain of 2 brings up second and 8 at the 24-yard line.
55. Check tight end. Check tight.
They'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. High throw, but the catch is made. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A carry here for Holyfield. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
I'm here all day.
They run with Holyfield. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Brings up second and goal at the 6-yard line.
22, jet, over. 22, jet, over.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Elijah Holyfield, his first touchdown on the year. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. On first down, Cook, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Got a man open. That's Harry. 23 yards the pickup there.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Cook running right. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Ready? Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 out.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. That's caught by Jackson. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he'll get nothing out of that one. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 17 yards there for the Patriots as they've got themselves a 1st down.
Hey, switch gears.
They'll set up to throw. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They'll set up a throw. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16.
A gain of 13 yards. And the Patriot 1st down.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And his throw is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. Go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game. And
if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Patriots going with a dime package here. 2 extra defensive backs on third. On play action, they'll throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. The Patriots will take their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Here we go. 180. Here we go.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding